Shalom family, it's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me in Unsectarian Wisdom, and as usual, I'm a wise, wealthy, rich, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Let's go ahead and jump back in, family. The Navigator who crossed the ice wall. Chapter 16, the plan to free the human being. Let's do it. While there was a direct plan to free the humans, who were still trapped under the custodial yoke and manipulated since birth by the lie, it was very risky, as it could put at risk not only the millions who lived within the walls, but also the ancestral humans of the Republic and races of the surrounding lands. Butler arrived one morning to my office together with Fael, and they told me that they had devised an alternative that could be effective. The custodians were strong in weapons and war strategies. They based their whole life on that development, but they had weakness like any race. And this could be found in the depth of their intelligence. Not to be misunderstood, they were extremely intelligent beings and great caretakers of their colonies, especially the human, who would be the only being which they never released after several long resets throughout history. But they found weak points where they could attack. Their fear could still be felt from a distance. They were not happy that ancestral humans in Anakim still existed around their most important colony. But they had not tried to attack our lands in these many years that had passed. They put us ahead. If they detested us, they had enough technology and military force to try to destroy us. What had led them not to make more attacks? The meeting with Fael and Butler lasted more than 4 hours. They had developed a series of different plans that supplemented the previous one in case of failure. All were based on attacking what was considered the weakness of the enemy. This was precisely their little or no spiritual development. Another great discovery was their radar system near the entrance to the known lands, penetrating the dome. When an ancestral entered through the known passages, small and even some large earthquakes were generated in surrounding areas. It was an extreme surveillance system that put them on alert and sent support forces. For that reason, it is quite common that the earthquakes were almost always in the same area, and is also the answer to why we were not sending more people for a long time. And we tried that those who were there did not return to continue collecting as much information as possible from day to day in the manipulated environment. The important thing then was to find another entrance or create one. This was so far impossible. We had not been able to enter by force in any dome, and it was unknown if this could really be done, nor could we use any portal since all of them were controlled by the custodians. But the exhaustive study of the closed zone in the external part of the same added to that everything that was proposed in the Republic really was carried out. Made that was created through safe ice melting based on statistics, not to generate floods. An area called Summer Portal, apparently with technology of the ancient Anakim, where entry was possible but could not yet be confirmed if by then the sophisticated control did not cover that area. If possible, we could then send different ancestors into the lands and subtly use their means to infiltrate important information. The ancestral republic, the possibility of other lands, and the real human past would be mentioned as much as possible. Sometimes it did not matter so much the name by which our lands were known. The important thing was to know about the lands behind the ice walls. As long as it did not alter the day-to-day life, as it would raise great suspicion, many people who carried out these missions were locked up in different institutions. So we were very careful in spreading the information. We knew that the great part of humanity would not even pay attention to these facts due to the existing conditioning of several generations, which would lead to not really pay attention. And although a priori this would seem something negative, in reality it helped us since we gained time in being able to carry out the other plans, until all would finally unite in a single plan or mission. But for that, they had to work in parallel, and it was an arduous task to carry out. The plans were really excellent since they did not cause any harm to the human being. To reach the necessary critical mass was going to be complex anyway. For that reason, there was another alternative that consisted in carrying out a very deep spiritual teaching, trying to break the human conditioning within the vile environment. When the human being develops through different techniques implemented by the ancestors in the lone lands, and can block as much as possible the conditioning and therefore the mind manipulated by the custodial control, then it was going to be easier for many to open up to the possibility that another reality existed outside the ice walls. These great ice walls would sooner or later become visible, and genuine human expeditions would also collide with them. But it was well known from our lands that any idea of going beyond would surely be blocked by generating fear, or directed or directly by force through what they always use, military intervention. Alright family, that's the end of chapter 16. Hold on for me though. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and throw something else into this discussion, to this reading. Some of you might have seen this before. Fair use.
Because look, it's not like flying
no.
straight. It's like moving.
Yeah, that's a UFO for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yo, it's like that thing they showed on.
Oh, whoa! What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
No, but it's like, well, yeah, I guess, but.
Yeah, I guess.
Stop!
Look at that! Wow! Oh my God!
Oh wow!
What?
Oh!
You see that? Bro, that's so
Holy shit! Hey, you guys see the light on the bottom?
Yeah!
That's crazy, bro. Hey, look at it from my phone, bro. Look at it from my angle.
I see that.
Oh,
Shit.
that's sick, bro.
Bro, this is going on lively. Dude!
It's a UFO. It's a UFO. Yeah.
Wow.
Decades of public denial, the U.S. government is now acknowledging the existence of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, what we often call UFOs. The U.S. Senate has ordered now the Director of National Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense to deliver a report on the topic, and soon, by next month. Fox 13's Jordan Bowen checked in with a UFO researcher about what we could expect to see in this much-anticipated report.
Since 2007, the U.S. government has been studying unidentified aerial phenomenon behind the scenes, collecting videos like these of possible UFO sightings. The Pentagon admits what's depicted in the videos captured by U.S. military is something they can't explain.
When you see a video of something that can't be explained, it doesn't mean it's aliens. It just means something's going on in the sky that we can't identify.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots to the west.
In 2015, the U.S. Navy captured this video on a targeting camera of a UAP off the coast of Jacksonville.
So look at this thing. It's rotated.
This video and others like it are now being studied by the UAP Task Force. Just last month, this video of 3 pyramid-shaped UFOs gathered by UAP was leaked to the public. According to the Pentagon, the video was captured by Navy officers aboard the USS Russell off the coast of California in 2019.
The fact that this was some sort of hoax, that this is really a giant pyramid spinning around in the sky, that's pretty amazing.
Bill Konkoleski with the Mutual UFO Network, a nonprofit organization dedicated to studying UFO sightings, has been researching the topic for decades. He says the upcoming report, set to be turned over to the U.S. Senate next month, is a major step forward for UFO research. U.S. Senator Marco Rubio, who's part of the Intelligence Committee, ordered the report, telling 60 Minutes in an interview Sunday night on CBS the U.S. should take UFOs seriously.
I want us to have a process to analyze the data until we get some answers.
Maybe it has a very simple answer. Maybe it doesn't.
For Konkoleski, it's hard to say just how much we could learn come next month.
They have a lot to release, and I think that it's going to be more like a drip feed out to the public than they're going to release everything at once.
Reporting in Tampa, Jordan Bowen, Fox 13 News.
Now, according to Konkolsky, this report could be released as early as June 1st, but there's also a chance it could be delayed.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Shalom, family. I just wanted to bring that up real quick because it's just interesting how even this book that we're reading right now, if you listen to the things that, if you listen to the other readings, the other chapters, if you listen to the words, the buzzwords that have been used, like mind control, conditioning, right? And I'm trying to help you, family, together, all of us together, and you're helping me, especially with your comments, when we connect the dots. Because we're not only, this isn't just about this map. This isn't just about this book series. People always say fiction, but if you ever look, the Bible isn't in the fiction section area in the library. Although some people might call it fiction, but that just depends on the person. You know, some people might call me crazy for... Look, like I said, I don't believe that everything that we have right here, I don't believe that this is the 100% truth, but I believe that there's a lot of truth in it. Just like everything we're taught in school doesn't have 100% truth in it. And you may think, and some people might be like, that's stupid, this is school. Once again, a lot of stuff that you're taught in science school, you don't even realize that it's still a theory. And they're not supposed to sit here and be teaching you something and telling you that it's fact, when in reality, it has not been proved as theory. Like, for instance, I know this is an interesting one, but technically gravity hasn't been proven. And you can sit here and technically the center of the earth being a ball of fire hasn't necessarily been proven. We have drawings, family. No pictures. Nobody's ever necessarily been there. Look, I don't want to get into that. All I'm saying is do your research, do your study. And people call me crazy. You can say I got tinfoil on my head, but family, I just showed you the evidence. And they can say stuff like what? Flying drones, oh, because, you know, now we have more flying drones now because of tech. Come on, family. This was happening before this. There were UFO sightings before we had flying drones and were able to go to the store and buy them and take pictures and everything. It's always an excuse for something, and I want to show you something else from chapter 16 that we just read. I'm going to read a paragraph again. It says, Butler arrived one morning to my office together with Fael, and they told me that they had devised an alternative that could be effective. The custodians were strong in weapons and war strategies. They based their whole life on that development, but they had weakness like any race, and this could be found in the depth of their intelligence, not to be misunderstood. They were extremely intelligent beings and great caretakers of their colonies, especially the human, who would be the only being which they never released after several long resets. I want to say something once again, family. There's wisdom and there's messages in the numbers. When you study numbers, when you understand numbers, certain things aren't said for no reason. And another thing, in the video, mentioned the man said, if you paid attention, he mentioned pyramids, right? All throughout this story. If you've been following me as I've been going through these books, have you not noticed that they mentioned that the Anunnaki have pyramid ships? Have I not mentioned any fans of Stargate SG-1? Hello, pyramid ships. Stuff that's been in front of our face before we even started talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Before this video came out, family, come on. Where you think they're getting this information from? Like, come on, family. It's just subtle hints and stuff everywhere. And just like he said at the end, I noticed he said they're waiting to release all the information. I don't care what. Look, I looked at the meeting they already gave. I didn't put that video up because he said basically some of the same things they said in here. But as always, they try to downplay it and blame everything on drones. But what about before, you know, Best Buy and all these were big? What about before, when we still had these sightings? Before drones were a big thing. Drones haven't been big for that long, family. They've only been out for what? I don't know. I want to say 10 years. Yeah, they might have been military, whoever had it, but publicly, you know. And I know I'm wrong on that number, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. Matter of fact, let me not say that. I'm gonna stop saying. I hate when people say that. That's like an excuse. But anyway, I just showed a video. That don't mean, look, once again, that don't mean believe me. I'm not even saying necessarily believe them. Do your own study, your own research, because it's got to click within your mind, your spirit, and your heart. But I'm not lying about this stuff, family. If you watch any of my other videos, like, come on, proof after proof. People showing videos and posting them online. I'm not saying all are real, but some of them, come on, you can't explain it. And it's happening more often, family. You got to connect the dots. Oh, and another thing. My bad, I totally got off this. When it was talking about, when it said several long resets, right? Hold on, let me read that again. Not to be misunderstood, they were extremely intelligent beings and great caretakers of their colonies, especially the human, who would be the only being which they never released after several long resets throughout history. Look, I know through research we could talk about how there are more resets, but nonetheless, it mentions 7 for a reason. And I want you to think about something too. It's talking about how, remember we were talking about pyramid ships, right? And it's talking about how they have human colonies. I want you to think Egypt. I want you to think, you know, Mystrium. I want you to think bondage, right? Deuteronomy 15, chapter 15, verses 12 through 18. If your brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, is sold to you, he shall serve you 6 years, and in the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. That's Deuteronomy 15, 12. Deuteronomy chapter 15, verses 12 through 18. So, family, it's all connected. Like I said in my last video, if you actually take the time to study, I'm here to teach, I'm here to learn, I'm here to share, I'm here to open up people's eyes, I'm here to be fed, I'm here to feed, I'm here to plant seeds, I'm have people to plant seeds in me of truth. We're here to find truth. I'm not sitting here telling you that all of this is truth. I'm not telling you to follow me blindly. Don't believe me. Do your own research. But stop being blind. Stop being a zombie. You say you only believe what you see. If you're an atheist, you say you only believe what you can see, feel, touch, taste, and feel. Well, your masters, your gods, the government are letting the media put out information, put out the truth, and still you sit here and say, okay, well, there's nothing else to the story. It's all lies. And you call me crazy and you call me a religious nut, but you don't realize that you yourself are a religious zealot in your scientism. You just trade an invisible God for a physical God. For a physical God who's proven to lie. A physical God who's proven to not be perfect. A physical God who, until a few years ago, said that Pluto was a planet, and now all of a sudden, it's what, an asteroid or a moon? They can just, like, for real, all my life, growing up, Pluto was a planet, and then all of a sudden, wake up one morning, someone tells me, oh, they said that Pluto is actually a moon or an asteroid or a comet, something like that. You see what I mean? They can be wrong. You know, anyway, I just want to throw that out there, family. And this ain't me arguing. Look, I don't want to argue. I'm just putting my point out there. If you got to, look, say what you want to say, put it in the comments, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you disagree or agree, I want to hear from you. You know what? I want to hear from you. I want to hear from everybody who agree, disagree. I want to hear from one who hates me. I want to hear how bad a reader I am. I want to hear everything. But still like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Share the message. Because I'll put it like this. You know what I think in school? I think they should teach kids about flat earth theory. Why not? Because if you could teach stuff that isn't proven, why can't you teach that? It should be equal all around the board, right? Equal rights, right? You know what I'm saying? We should teach everything, not just what we think, especially as we keep proving to ourselves as we continue along in time that things keep coming out to where now we have to change our perception on what we were taught in school. I'm just saying, family. All right. I'm done, family. I'll catch you later. Be blessed. Shalom.